I've been the person on day 10, and I say that with a huge smile and lots and lots of love. So days 1 and 2 carry so much excitement. It's the energy of, I'm going to do this. It feels so wonderful. And then somewhere around day 8 or 10, the excitement runs out. The practice that you've committed to, it's still there. And there's a part of you that goes, do I actually want to do this? Right. So I used to be a runner. I eventually ran a marathon. Another story. But for a long time, the first 8 kilometers of every single run, they were terrible. I would be like, why am I doing this? I would be asking myself, surely this isn't necessary. What's the point? And even negotiating, okay, we would just run to that tree or we would just run to that stop and then we'll stop. But then somewhere around the 8 kilometer mark, it would shift. It would become really easy. It would become fun. And I'd feel like I could run forever. And for me, the 40-day practice has similarities, right? There's a point, a day number, and for everyone it's different. You just need to get past it. And suddenly it's not a thing that you're like, oh, I must remember to do that today, that you have to check it off. But it's this moment you actually crave. It's like this moment of bliss. And there's another more subtle benefit for me than just doing the practice and what it does for your mind and body. It's that at the end of the 40 days, you've actually kept a promise. You've committed to showing up for yourself and for your soul. And for me, it's just so powerful because our lives are full of doing things, right? We're keeping promises to others. And especially if you're a mom or a parent, you've got so many things on your to-do list that your wants and needs are really at the bottom of the list. And I know because I am a mom, and I remember in those early years being utterly shattered, already in bed, and then going, oh, I haven't meditated. And I would get up and do it. Not because it was like this punishment thing, but because over the years, when I've committed to something to myself, that commitment is deeply, deeply sacred. And it's something in that is not really about the getting up about and doing the meditation. That's amazing. But it's that you've created this small piece of the day that belongs to nobody but you. So what is a 40-day Kundalini practice actually? It's simpler than it really sounds. You choose a meditation, a kriya, or both, and you then do it every single day for 40 days. In Kundalini yoga, 40 days is one of the first time practices. You then have 90 days, the next mark is 120, and then you get to 1,000. And each one works at a different depth. 40 days helps you break any negative habit that blocks you. And 90 days helps you create the new habit in your consciousness and your subconscious mind. Then you get 120, and this is all the positive benefits of the practice gets integrated permanently into your psyche. And then the big one, 1,000 days. This, according to the teachings, allows you to master the new habit of consciousness. What I really love is that the 40 days helps you to just release those blocks, right? And often because I'm in the swing of it and I'm really enjoying it, I usually continue doing it to 90, 120 days. And those that I have done have really left a profound impact on my life. And if you've never done this before, you might be watching and thinking, I could never. I can't meditate. My mind doesn't stop. I've tried and I'm terrible at it. I can tell you, I felt exactly the same in the beginning. I remember sitting down and thinking, what on earth is this? This is definitely not going to work. But if we just take away the word meditation, with all its sort of baggage, its constructs, its subtle implication that other people are better at doing something with their inner lives than you, what is it actually that's being asked of you? And that's really it. So anyone, you can hold a position and you can breathe. And the whole reason that Kundalini gives you the mudra and the mantra and the specific breath is not to make it complicated. It's actually just to give your busy brain something to do so that it stops running the show. And then in that space, your soul, your inner voice has like ability to speak to you, those whispers. And these are just a few minutes of the day that you get to be with you. And let me be practical, because the reality is thoughts are going to come. That's just what happens. You're going to sit down and your brain will start going, Oh, have I remembered to do that? Oh, I must remember to message so and so. Oh, what did that person say? Oh, did I remember to hang up the washing? I still need to do that. And on and on and on, right? And then you have this other beautiful voice, which arrives, the critical voice going, hmm, I don't think you're meditating properly. This probably doesn't count. You're really hopeless at this. Blah, blah, blah. But I invite you to listen to another voice, the curious voice that asks different questions entirely. It asks, why do I feel like I need to do this to-do list right now? Why don't I trust that I'll remember this in a few minutes' time? And what part of me does not believe it will be safe to just calm down? What I actually do in these moments is, over the years, I've learned to talk to my brain and go, you know what? You're powerful. You can remember all of this when we're done. Let's just resume that. And it usually does. And so the distinction I would want you to take from all of this is that your thoughts aren't the problem, right? It's actually the way you speak to yourself about the thoughts. And part of this is then cultivating that practice of self-love and deep self-awareness. So traditionally, what happens if you miss a day? You begin again. That's the teachings. And me personally, I'm a very disciplined person. If you know astrology, I have a stellium in Capricorn. Showing up, doing things is just who I am. And to be honest, for like years when I've missed a day, I've just restarted because must do it and it has to be done perfectly. Since becoming a mom, I've changed a little bit. I still believe in honoring the tradition, but now I honestly pause. If I miss a day, I pause and I check what was the restart really about, right? Is this devotion or is this me trying to prove something? Because if it's been leaning into that second thing of I have to do this now, then it's not really about the practice of that. Because the reality is you can miss life and then you can miss something because your ego is blocking you. When I've missed days, it's almost always been because I was really deeply ill and my body just couldn't do it. But if there's days where I was like in bed and I was like, oh, I really can't be bothered to get out and do it, then I would begin again, but only if I was beginning again because I wanted to and not because I felt like I had to. Mm. So the analogy I have with this is cooking. I love cooking. So when you're doing cooking, you could know a recipe, right? And you really know it well enough to wing it. So you do it. And you sit down to eat and you go, oh, I forgot to put that spice in. Is the dish ruined? Probably not. Would the spice have just added that tiny little bit that you notice? Of course. But is this dish still amazing? Yes. Baking, though, is different because baking has ratios. There are foundations. You can't make it up or your cake simply will not rise. Which is why I think I can hold both as a teacher, right, in terms of missing a day and starting or not starting. I think you were given the foundations for a reason, and that for some people, sticking to it exactly is precisely what they need because they struggle with committing to themselves. And for others, having the grace to miss a day is what they need because they're far too hard on themselves. My role as a teacher is to hold space for both and trust that you'll find a path that's true for you in all of this. So ultimately, it's all about devotion and not self-punishment, my loves. The difference is it's not really about the technique and how you're doing it. It's like why are you doing it? Self-punishment shows up when the egos decide that we're doing this meditation because it's going to give us this, this, and this benefit. And we have to have these benefits. And if we don't do it, we won't get it. And then what does it say about me if I can't commit to something? And it just becomes this other voice of adding to the narrative of you're not good enough or doing enough, right? Whereas for me, devotion is this container you create so that you can go deeper within yourself. And then whatever comes up inside that container gets met with curiosity and criticism. And yes, the mudras, the mantras, the breath, they're all doing the work in the body and the subconscious. The benefits are really real. But the devotion is how you talk to yourself and show up in your practice, which then takes it to another level. And I would say that if doing something or committing to something is making you be unkind to yourself, like a 40-day practice, then the lesson here would be for you to stop and be kinder and not just force yourself to carry on, right? So I'm currently doing another 40-day meditation at the moment, and I can't wait to tell you more about it because I've really found it truly powerful. What I have noticed through it, being really observing in it, is some days it feels like the minutes take forever. And that's usually when I'm like, you definitely need to meditate. And other days it's over before I even want it to be. So often I think we focus on the duration of I must meditate for 10 minutes or like 11 minutes, whereas actually I would say if you can sit and go really deep within for 3 minutes, that's far more powerful than sitting for a forced 11 minutes writing a shopping list in your head, right? And so the invitation I would leave you with, the question is, what would it be like to commit to something small for yourself and simply see what happens? It doesn't have to be a meditation. It doesn't have to be a kriya. It could be committing to sitting and breathing for a minute, right? You could start off that small and then see what happens if you do that every single day. And that's where I'm going to leave you, my loves. I'm sending you so much love and light and grace. And yeah, hope that you find the space to do something like that for you. And if you're curious about doing a deeper 40-day practice, or perhaps you would like to do some live Kundalini classes, all of those links are down below in the description. I'd love to hear from you. And yes, once again, thank you so much, love. Chat to you soon. Bye, my loves. Bye.